It was just taking a little bit longer than usual, sorry.
No, that's okay. We'll take your time.
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay. Well, again, welcome to everybody, and those of you who've joined us. And keep in mind, Laurie's monitoring your questions. So if you have a question or a comment, let her know. These meetings go well when we kind of organize them in terms of people coming on. So that's why I asked Laurie to kind of help us to conduct the meetings. That I think a lot of Zoom meetings now, and the more people there are, it can be a little confusing. So I think this is a pretty good way for us to interact with each other. So I think what I'd start off with today is just tell you a little bit about what happened last weekend. I have shared with you a few observations, few reflections in my pastor's letter, because I know people have been asking. I've been hearing during the week that people who came said their friends, their neighbors have been asking them about it. We, of course, gave you some guidelines that we followed to give you an idea, but maybe just kind of going over how it happened and then getting feedback. You know, one of the advantages of this coffee hour experience is for us to listen to you. So maybe you have some questions or whatever, and I'd like to hear from some of you who were there last weekend. So we had almost our regular Mass schedule. So and we're following the annual schedule that we had started in January. So that means our 4 o'clock Mass for April, May, and June is over at St. Thomas. The 8 o'clock Mass is at St. John's. And then we have our 2 o'clock Masses. We decided not to include the 5 o'clock Mass because that tends to be a lighter Mass. And we needed to make sure that we were, kind of covering the bases here. Some parishes had fewer Masses than usual. We also had additional Masses because beside the Brazilian Mass and the Mass in Spanish at their usual times, Father Paul offered a vigil Mass at 7 o'clock on Saturdays and a Mass on Sunday evenings. Now, our experience was pretty much that the numbers of people might range from the 30s to, say, the 60s. I don't think there were any Masses that were probably, I think you said 67 at the Brazilian Mass. So clearly the numbers are low, which has been the case with other pastors that I've spoken with. People are slow coming back